Namaste, and welcome to Transcend, your daily source of inspiration and spiritual wisdom. Hey guys, namaste. So today I'd like to talk about a very interesting phenomenon that many times spiritual seekers, especially in the beginning stages of their spiritual progression, experience. And basically, that's the experience of, okay, when someone goes onto the spiritual path, they start to realize that their body, and the phenomenon of even their mind and intelligence is a temporary thing, and it's not factually who they are. They realize, they may not fully realize, but they conceptually realize that they are the soul, which is spiritual and non-different and different from the material gross body made of earth, fire, air, ether, water. And so they realize this, and in their daily life, I can even speak from my own experience. They can be looking at themselves in the mirror, and they'll start to get a little disturbed in their stomach. They may feel a little queasy even. They'll say, "This isn't me. Who am I? What is my true nature? What is my, as a soul, what is my real destination? Why am I in this body? How did I get this body?" So these are all really good questions, and basically, when one comes to that realization, they are definitely on the spiritual path, and they've made some nice progress, and it's very nice. But at the other side, this material body, yes, it's temporary, and I know it's kind of an unusual thing when you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're thinking, what is this that I've come upon? What is this body? What is this whole world really? How am I stuck in this life with this identity of, so-and-so's name and family and nation and their bodily features and their emotional makeup? So how did all this come about? It's very bewildering and confusing. So when someone advances a little bit further on the spiritual path, they recognize that yes, all this stuff is temporary. It's not me in the fullest sense. But they learn that that this material body is not to be neglected. It's not. They can realize, yes, the true realization of that experience, the more lasting realization, is that yes, due to my karmic conditioning, due to my karmic results, I have attained this situation, I have attained this body, this identity, this ego, and I'm going to use this for divine service. Whatever body I've been given, whatever position I have, however much money I have, whatever, doesn't matter. Whatever our situation, we should use it to advance spiritually at all times. And so the body is not to be seen as a neglected entity, but the body and everything that's making up our temporary identity, we can engage in divine service. And in that sense, it's funny that I'm making this video because our friend Jenna, in her band Tonight Alive, they just made a song that's called Temple, and in that she sings, "My body is a temple." And so that's a very true thing, and the body is certainly a temple. And so the body we should look at as a facility to connect with the divine energy, same as our soul. So we engage everything, and there's two types of bodies. There's the sadhaka body, which means the body, which means the physical body, the sadhaka, and also the siddha deha, which means the internal body conceptualized in the mind and realized via the soul. And that is how you interact in the divine dimensions of Vaikuntha. And so we transcend this feeling of bewilderment and this feeling of, oh, this body, this is very unpleasant. But we come to terms with these things and we think, okay, yes, this is my position. I'm going to act as best I can in my situation. And it doesn't even matter what your situation is. There's a very famous story in the Ramayana of Sri Ramachandra. And so when the monkeys, they were building a bridge out of stones across the ocean to get to Lanka, where Ravana was keeping the divine goddess Sita, the mother of the universe. And so they had to make these rocks, and the rocks floated on the water. It was a mystical thing. They wrote the names of Rama on the stones, and they all floated, and so they walked across that way. So some of those monkeys were very strong, and all the animals had assembled to help these to help Ram build these bridges. And so some were big monkeys that could take big boulders, and practically they were saying mountaintops. They would plop these mountaintops down. They were very strong. It's a whole nother age they lived in, not like our Kali Yuga age. So they were doing this, and then some other creatures like squirrels and spiders, they were also doing this. And so the spiders, as you can imagine, their physical capacity is to a far less extent than the strong monkeys that are described. Trying to think of the word. I think they're called vamanas. Vamanas. Yeah, that's the species of the monkeys that Hanuman belongs to. So anyway, this spider was flicking little dust particles to add his contribution of love to the bridge. And some of the monkeys, they were making fun of him. They said, just move along, just move aside. You can't add so much to this endeavor. You're just putting little dust particles. What's that even gonna do? And Lord Ram, he came and he chastised those monkeys. He said, that is very offensive of you. You don't ever speak like that to any other servant of myself. No one speaks to my servant like that. So the love of that spider and the love of Hanuman or any of those other monkeys or creatures was exactly equal, because Krishna, Ram, divinity, the divine persons, they accept the bhava of the seva, service, which means they accept the emotional love of the service, not so much worried about the external packaging of that seva, service. So I'm telling this story because the main idea of what I'm trying to get across in this video is that whatever our situation is in this world, we should always remember Krishna. We should remember the divine names of God, the divine qualities, the divine pastimes, and the divine forms. And by remembering those, by meditating on them, by serving them within our heart and in our body and our mind, then we will surely advance in the devotional path. And so we just have to keep going. If we feel a little disgusted with our material position, then we just keep going. And this is make the best use of a bad bargain. That's what the saying is, and it's very applicable to this situation that we're living in. So we just try our best, and hope that helps for everyone. Hope that makes sense. I hope I said that properly. And thanks for joining me. And if you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, share the video, like it, spread it around the internet so we can spread devotional spiritual life to everyone and try to make the world a better place. Thank you for joining me. Have a nice day.